important matches here, but I don't think that they're like set back if they just, you know, have a mediocre performance.
Wow, first phase Drow ban. I guess it was only a matter of time, guys.
Dude, we're gonna see that a lot in TI.
Yeah, I think we are.
absolutely.
Oh, Elder Titan.
Yeah, ET and Void are both in the pool here, so I think Friends have to pick up the Void, or DC will open with it. They've done this a lot. We actually, like Shazam was actually drafting against them a lot in scrims, and then a week later, ET Void open becomes one of the most common things for DC. So a lot of team fight potential, a lot of just abilities to jump in and lock down certain targets. A lot of the Agi cores are very vulnerable to these two heroes.
Timber Void probably good. First two picks here. Like Timber is also very good versus Elder Titan, because you don't lose your armor from reactive.
So who do you think would play the Timber in that case?
Yeah, that's the question for me as well.
Don't
I
they
think
have
G plays Timber.
So
yeah.
G, in the last month, he went 1 and 2 on the hero, but I feel like it still really fits his playstyle.
yeah.
Like
He
high
wants to get in
mobility,
the fight.
high nuke damage.
Yeah, that's what I was saying from the beginning in the last game, that you
okay.
want G on a hero with extreme snowball potential. But yeah, no, the issue with them picking Timber is I think they only really have one Timber player.
Yeah.
Whereas DC has all 3 cores play Timber pretty well.
No, I think Yoku and G both play Timber.
Oh, where's Dakota? Dakota.
Oh yeah, Yoku plays it. Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course he does. Yeah,
This was
you're right,
a
you're right.
relatively standard opening going back to Manila even, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are doing
So
this.
basically, the reason why you pick Darkseer here against the Elder Titan is mostly because Elder Titan is going to be roaming in most situations, so it leaves Darkseer 1 versus 2, and if you in the right matchup, like they even pick the Earth Spirit, so they're going to do a lot of lane pressure, and Oracle is the perfect response to it.
Absolutely. Really, really strong at the Dark Seer.
Yeah.
Time to go Iron Talon on Darkseer.
See, no, I'm not. That's not a joke. That's not a
Yeah,
joke at all.
just
Like
go-
this is one of the
I'm
things
not
that I'm
joking.
seeing more and more with Darkseer.
I think you should do it if you're Darkseer and you're up against Oracle.
Yeah.
You should just start in the jungle, just come to the lane after.
Darkseer is actually a really, really good Iron Talon jungle. He can get that. He can
who
get
is
level
not-
5.
Who is not a good Iron Talon?
Clockwork?
Cuddle.
Anyone can jungle
To an extent.
with Iron Talon.
But I think that
Doesn't mean they should.
Yeah, that's right.
That has to be said, okay?
Doesn't mean they should.
fair enough. Phase 2, I think, is 100% Sven ban for Digital Chaos. It's like the 3rd most picked core for Aloha Dance, and it fits right into the Darkseer Earth Spirit. This is what Liquid ran a lot at the first SL Invitational. That nearly got them the championship over Alliance. But yeah, I feel like Juggernaut and Sven are the 2 heroes you look
Or
to.
even Ember, because Elder Titan and Oracle don't have any reliable stun, so any hero that's very slippery, very mobile would be extremely hard for Digital Chaos to control.
Yeah,
And that's a hero I want.
I want
on
to
G.
see a G Storm right now. Skill.
Oh, Storm is also okay.
Yeah,
Or
it's
Ember.
definitely fine. But yeah, although G hasn't played as much Ember recently, it's still one of the heroes that he has the most potential with for sure.
Right.
But you need someone to give you mana on Storm now. Because Storm alone, I don't think he's like that strong anymore to be a standalone pick. You need a support that gives him mana, like IO, like a support that makes him strong, essentially.
Yeah.
IO, CM, or
I mean, they
combo.
can still get IO if they wanted to.
No, what you're saying with Storm is absolutely right. It's like because of the changes to his ult, it almost feels in some phases in the mid game that he's like 1 item behind where he used to be, and so you need a support to make up for that item.
Either that, or you need to
Boost him
have
a little
like a very good like understanding of how much mana you expend to kill a hero in a fight. Because sometimes you get the kill and then you're just like out of mana, and you go, oh, well now I'm just dead because I have no more mobility left.
Well, but even when you can, right? The big problem is that Storm used to be able to get that kill and get out and then go farm stacks.
Yeah.
Right, and he just definitely.
I'm not saying he didn't need a nerf.
Fair
I'm just
enough.
saying he has his struggles now.
You,
Fair enough.
you definitely play Storm.
I did play Storm. Not as much as some people we know, but I played him a little bit.
I mean, Liquid is in the house, right?
Yeah, they are.
Not playing in the tournament, but our 2 teams are scrimming right now, so.
So I really do want to dig further into how the drafting mentality has to shift when FNG is out and Always Want to Fly is in. And one thing that I'm looking at here, Earth Spirit's definitely going to go to No Fear. It's one of his most played heroes for sure. But what 5 do you really run for Always Want to Fly? I mean, you have the potential like the Dazzle SD type stuff. But one hero you have that Always Want to Fly actually did pick up a lot over the past few months that he loves to couple with Darkseer is actually Jakiro. I mean, they've had some success with it in like your standard matches, but they were actually able to take a few high tier teams down with this combo when they were playing in Polarity.
Isn't it like 2 countered against Oracle to pick Jakiro? I mean, you kind of have a specific style of play, I think, when you play that hero.
Fate's Edict.
Yeah, you just disconnect as soon as he casts it on a hero. You're like, all right, I'm done. I'm out of here. And it would counter 3 of their picks.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the thing is you can only counter so many debuffs or buffs. Like,
I think
throwing it on Dark Seers, throwing it on Earth Spirit Magnetize, like obviously it has its weaknesses, but if you want early tempo, you don't want to go up against AT
there's
late.
the void. I actually am kind of surprised that was left in the pool for the second phase. Banning the Alchemist
Both
over
teams
void.
won
I
the
don't know about
hero. Both teams won the hero, possibly. And F.R.I.E.N.D.S with the first pick in the second phase just immediately snaps the hero because it might be taken by DC right away. And that Elder Titan, like we mentioned earlier, really good combo with the Chronosphere.
So it has to be a safe lane void. That's not something that Aloha has picked up very much at all, but obviously something that pretty much any carry player worth his salt has to have at least partially in his repertoire.
Yeah.
Jakiro is actually a better pick now with Void. Although traditionally, I think even going back to Summit, it was Dazzle was the hero that was being picked commonly against ET, just because Weave is so good against
Right, the aura.
the Aura.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
But now, when you have Void, it's really hard to pick Dazzle too, because then your damage output is just non-existent.
Well, and the nice thing too about Darkseer is that you can also you're gonna get a lot of farm. You can build auras, you can build some utility items.
I mean, he's not really maybe a pipe and a mech or Greaves and a.
You can build Shivas.
Yeah, I agree with Droska. They definitely need damage. Right now they have a lot of setup, and Darkseer and Earth Spirit is like damage over time.
I think they go for the Ember at this point, because if you're not going to go for the Sven in the safe lane, which has Warcry against ET as well as coupling with the Darkseer, then you're going to have something that really puts damage into the Chronosphere. So, I mean, that would be like the Death Prophet as well as the Ember Spirit.
Yeah,
I think Ember fits better
I
here.
like Death Prophet or Invoker for G here.
Then you definitely need a save as a last support. You need like a Avenge swap or a Dazzle if you're going to pick that hero.
I think that would be perfect. You pick a strong.
But then you're like
strong DPS mid for G, and then you pick up Dazzle is always one of Fly's best heroes.
You're very cooldown reliant if you do that. I mean, I like the Avenge maybe a bit more than Dazzle now after having seen the bat.
Because of the bat. So
I mean, it's assuming that it's Elder Titan support, Oracle support. You don't have to really worry about denying it necessarily from DC.
This bat might have a very good game if they don't have a good laning support to zone him. Because Void is not. If you are doing a safe lane Void against bat, you don't do much against him.
That's actually kind of why I like that. Yeah, that's why I like the support pickup here.
They might actually just do a bat Elder Titan dual lane because Void Avenge is pretty weak in the early game. Elder Titan plus bat could actually do a lot of damage in the laning phase against those two heroes.
Yeah, it's the right answer to the later stage of the game, but yeah, in laning it's something that they can easily punish. I mean, early levels of time dilation aren't going to be as big of a nuisance for the Bat Rider, and just in general, any damage over time is going to whittle this Void down pretty quickly.
Yeah, for DC right now, they are missing their two big heroes. They have a lot of setup with the Elder Titan and Bat. I know you mentioned.
What about Huskar?
I know you mentioned about the Huskar for DC.
Yeah.
Quite possible.
It's not bad, but
it's not bad.
I mean, the thing is,
Oracle
he negates a
Huskar.
lot of the damage that Earth Spirit and Darkseer naturally bring, which we already said their damage lineup is pretty low. Hits a very good timing against Friend's lineup as well.
Yeah, but they have like the Venge and the Void. Like Void, you just need to build other items, like damage items. Right now, they go for the AM.
It's a different approach for sure, but it's the same reasoning as Huskar that he's very tanky against the lineup.
And it's good laning phase against Darkseer.
Yeah.
So Darkseer is definitely not.
Well, Huskar is okay against lane, I think, as well.
Yeah, Resolution was actually one of the few anti-mage players that was building Vanguard first, even before all the buffs and extensions into Abyssal Blade. He built it like 1 or 2 games, but since it's been the transition item for Abyssal Blade, he's almost always building Vanguard first. So he can get involved very early. He can definitely fight against this. I'm a little worried about the blink cooldown against the Void. Obviously, they'll have a Manta later on to deal with that, but early on, yeah, you blink in, you get time dilated, and you suddenly lose all your mobility.
Yeah, and that building on what you're saying, I think he'll look to TP early on to other lanes. I think you can take advantage of that roaming Elder Titan. I think you can take advantage of a possible early blink dagger on the Bat Rider. You get that anti-mage involved to get a couple early points in the mana break.
I mean, the thing is, I'm looking at this Friends lineup, and it's pretty much the same type of lineup as we saw at Game 1, but we saw that they also failed to execute with that. Now that Yoku's going to have even more pressure...
I don't know if it's the same.
I don't think it's the same.
Well, like, the order of operations, though, you have the same... Generally speaking, you have the same cooldowns, you have the same amount of pressure that you need to be putting out at certain times.
But they have better heroes to pressure.
This is like much more like individual, like... you don't need so much more coordination compared to their last lineup. I think this lineup is much better at executing maybe 2 heroes ganking on this side of the map, and the other 2 doing their own stuff. Instead of you compare it to the last game where they are a lineup where you want to play 5 heroes together all the time.
They need damage like so badly.
Yeah, they don't have damage.
Yeah.
Friends don't have much damage.
Maybe G Queen? I don't know. They need something to blow people up.
Is Queen a hero?
I mean, they banned the Invoker themselves.
What else does he play that bursts?
Because they were worried DC would go for the Invoker.
He's still a really good mid laner.
Oh,
Tinker, okay. Alright, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
I actually totally forgot about Tinker.
Yep.
And it's pretty good versus what the DK wants to do in the game. Push towers, you have March to stop that. I mean, they have decent heroes versus Tinker though, Bat and Anti-Mage.
Yeah, I think they have more than enough to chase Tinker around. So, final thoughts here, guys, going into the game. Blaze.
I do think that we're going to be able to see a lot of early aggression from the ET and Oracle that the Venge and the Earth Spirit might not be able to keep up with. Obviously, Yoku, just by default, is going to be zoned out of his offlane situation. So I feel like DC have the tools to win the early game once again, and this time they're going to be able to kind of pivot off that a little bit better. You're always going to get a Venge kill with Moo's Batrider, and I think that they're going to be able to kind of snowball this game.
DC is the better team, enough said.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think Friends are going to be able to make a little bit more of a game out of this. I think they're on their comfort heroes. G's on a hero that has some real snowball potential, but at the end of the day, after what we saw in Game 1, I got to go with DC. That said, Friends need a win to stay alive in this best-of-3 series here in Game 2. We're going to throw it back to our casters, Coddle Guy and Winter.
All right, Winter.
Friends forever.
Friends forever. As we cast our good boys Friends versus Digital Chaos, it's game number 2. Let's just pretend that I missed most of the draft. I was watching Winter, but I mean, what do you think? When I initially look at it from the outside perspective here, I'm seeing Friends. I'm not seeing a whole lot of, just classic right-click, hard-hitting damage. Yeah, you have Faceless Void, but I feel like a lot of it could be right in the back of this Tinker and its execution, but we'll hold that thought as potential skirmish at the early part of this game. DC were trying to do their own little invade to try to get some maybe secured wards down, but they know all of the Friends party is here waiting for them.
Winlace, saving lives there.
But the Winlace speed of Misery and this salve will get him back into order and he'll walk away, yes.
So
but
promise you'll buy Winlace now.
I'll think about it. I get it on Coddle, and then you feel like a Ferrari is the best part. Because, fastest hero in the game now.
335.
Him and Enchantress, it's a pretty nice life they live. But nonetheless, is there any scare for Friends on just kind of playing with the clock, though, with their lineup overall? And just kind of, whereas DC could play that more lackadaisical game where
they do scale pretty well, though, if you go late game with Tinker and Void. So, I mean, and if you look at DC's heroes, I mean, arguably you can say the only hero that scales super well is AM. I mean, DK can scale well if you have a lot of farm. So, wow. I don't think I've ever seen DK start with Poor Man's Shield. This is the first time. First for me.
Mid lane DK with Poor Man's Shield?
Yeah,
I want to say I've seen it before.
Because generally you don't really need it that much.
You just bank on your own Dragon's Blood tankiness. That's going to be more than enough here. And it is kind of an awkward magic to kind of go straight for the PMS, I guess, with being against the Tinker here, but...
It's not a big deal, but just... I'm not sure how much it would actually help him in his laning phase. I would prefer Quelling Blades in most situations, but... I mean, overall it's not a big deal, but... Like we mentioned, Darkseer has to go Iron Talon jungling this game because there's no way he's gonna lane against AM plus Oracle.
The Oracle, yeah. But that means, it's going to be expected he's in jungle, which means Misery can be there waiting and watching him and being like, that's some great creep work.
Just making sure he has.
Do you mind if I come in and just kind of interrupt your flow a bit? Oh, are you almost dead? Hey, how's it going?
Oh, he's dead.
Yep, boom! See you later. First blood. My name's Misery. Welcome to the game.
And I'm here to make you miserable.
You did it, sir! I didn't do it, you did it! Bottom lane, they're making a jump, trying to make Moo's life miserable here. But it's not going to be enough to take him down. It looks like he's avoided the trouble and will step off. But that is definitely going to be very frustrating. This Darkseer already, is very precious with his laning phase to kind of, he's a build-up offlaner. He's not like an offlaner who can go right to work. You need to get all these levels. You need to get a mech built up for your team. It's a long process, and this is only going to prolong it that much further. And it makes the support life of Misery that much easier.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they still haven't started to, scout out the other Titan. Like the Earth Spirit has been bottoming the whole time.
Yeah, we finally get to see Earth Spirit, and
yeah, you must be happy. You've been waiting for the whole hero for the whole
Friends haven't kind of been playing a lot of Dota recently. They don't know that the hero's dead, but they're going to give it another shot. I'm kidding when I say he's dead, but what makes it difficult nowadays, I feel like there's no good options early on.
He's not dead.
He's not dead, but
he's just not preferred right now.
When you put him in a support position, you're hoping to make that kind of early game impact, whether it's flustering the mid laner or just getting that much of a significant lane advantage. No heroes now that, Timber Saws are kind of being in the lanes. Like, a lot of the heroes now, Faceless Void, for example, you just can't easily kill them like you used to be able to. So, we'll just have to see if he's going to find his way. Plus all that magical damage, not going to be doing a whole lot to AM later on. But the silence and the utility he brings, I will not deny, is still very, very useful in a Dota game.
What other hero has a stun, a silence, a slow, and an AoE damage? No.
It depends how you look at it. Like, oh, this hero has a free evade and a blink and a, whatever else. Yes, he's got a lot, but there's shortcomings to Earthspear too.
And he has a higher skill cap, I guess, just to make the hero balance.
Would you say he's a higher skill cap than like Meepo or something? I don't think so. Here comes the roll. Let's see if you can do anything about it. Boulder smash.
When you compare it to other support heroes, Dakota.
Yeah.
Not a core.
Yeah, he hits him, tickles him a bit in the mid lane, but
poor man shield.
Plus his shortcomings, where he has all those though, is like he can't farm. He can't just farm. He can't just go. I'm gonna go put him.
You're not meant to farm with that guy.
There's some supports who can farm.
You farm heroes, not creeps.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Is nowadays these heroes are not easy to farm. They're tankier. They're bigger. They're
That's
badder.
because you're missing your spells.
No.
Yes.
No, the best players in the game, they don't miss their spells. The crits, the fears.
That's why no one farms with that hero in the lane. They just run around and pressure.
Yeah.
You must be that jungling Kotal in the pub games.
Are you talking about Coddle or Spirit?
Because you like to farm so much.
And never going to get easier here for the Faceless Void. Poor Yoku is constantly getting like someone over his shoulder everywhere he goes to find CS. A battle for the Arcane Rune, and it's going to be Misery who is there first to snag it right in the face of No Fear here. It's going to lead to a takedown of Wii, so very nice nod for Friends on this one, but they can't pursue anything else. Heated confrontation, and they're going to get the Dragon Knight down. That's a good thumbs up for Friends.
Yep, a good thumbs up, and always Wanna comes in to refill G's bottle, giving him more sustain in the lane. But right now, so it seems like both the carries are getting somewhat equal farm. 32 on AM, 29 on the Void. I'll be interested to see what build the Void goes this game though. Does he go for
Radiance?
I'm not a fan of the Vanguard Radiance, so honestly. I prefer the Diffusal Manta build. I think it gives more potential to the hero to shine because you have a much better damage output when you're trying to solo kill a hero. Like, because when you look at Void versus AM matchups, in a lot of the times where you look at the game, AM is trying to farm and then Void is trying to hunt down the AM.
Yeah.
You want to get a solo kill, so going the Manta Diffuser build means you get more damage to solo kill, and the roll in into VH once more. Let's back up.
Leads
He
to
has no
stomp.
stun. Oh, okay, he has no stun.
Turns around, Boulder Smash will connect, and
He has no Dragon Tail. Otherwise, they could have gotten that kill.
He's too cool for it.
Too cool for it?
I don't know.
Too cool to get a kill for your team?
I guess so. The Digital Chaos way. But
what's that supposed to mean? What's that?
They're not cool enough to get the kill. That's what it means. Yoku, flirting with death here, is going to be able to walk away. Still just level 4, trying to get to level 5. Obviously a bit off the mark he'd like to be at. Meanwhile, top lane. And by the way, you're going on the note, you were talking about AM and the potential build-up. Oh, you were talking about for Faceless Void, like the Diffusal Manta.
And Blaze mentioned about the Vanguard build on AM, and generally I don't really like it that much. Oh, here comes the Void. He's gonna get disarm.
But that disarm lasts a little bit, not long enough. Only level 1.
Oh, the stomp! The stomp!
Nope, not good enough. Takes him down, and now they're going to follow up. Sasuke here tries to hide within the trees, dilated, but they are going to be able to find him. He goes down. Aloha Dance time walks right back out from there, and they'll be able to even this game back up 2-2.
Yeah, the reason I like the Vanguard this game is because of the way the Void is going to play. They're going to try and kill you, so having that Vanguard might be a difference maker in certain situations. Even though I'm not a fan of the Vanguard generally, but this game I think it's pretty good.
Will he still have to follow the Vanguard with something like the Manta to avoid some of the trouble? I mean, you're going against the blind, you're going against the silence.
Fury, you can't miss
just all in on the farm, huh? I mean, that does mean he's susceptible to all these disables from friends, though, if he is.
Yeah, but you're anti-mage, you know.
You're not supposed to be caught. Yeah.
It's supposed to be focusing on farming and, you know, joining fights if you need to. So right now the overall situation for DC, they're trying to get Mu to his blink before they start their tempo. Blink less so than Dragonite. They get a kill with Dragonite and they get the tower. That's mostly what they want to do. Oh, here comes the roll in again. They get the kick onto Weeha. No chrono though, just the time dilation.
This time they have enough horsepower that they'll be able to bring down the Dragon Knight after the setup there done by No Fear. Well job indeed.
Let me ask you about
Me.
Boots of Travel first on Batrider. Are you a fan of it? I know Mu likes to do it a lot.
Moo likes to do it, Bone likes to do it.
Boots of Travel, drums, you know.
I mean, you'd have to have a really good game going. I mean, if you confidently want to move into
Right.
more of it, so it's been the drum build early.
Yeah.
They get the drum, and then they will decide from there if they want to, how far they want to go with their Batrider tool belt.
Yeah, usually you only do it if you are far ahead or you have a super good time.
What do you see the advantage in it being able to participate in pretty much any fight?
Yeah, because they have the Elder Titan this game, you might be able to use some of the abuse by BTing towards the spirit to get, you know, kills early. But generally, the more stable bit is to get the blink.
Smoke comes out from DC. They're looking to make an approach towards the mid lane here. G is the one in lane holding his ground, but creep wave is pushed under the tower, makes it a bit of an awkward approach. DC decide to go for it, and G gets caught within his own creeps, leads to the stomp. They're gonna try to nuke him down with the help of the purifying flames, and then they'll get the right click there.
They almost messed that up. Oh my god. He hit him a little too early and then missed the fire breath from the DK.
Oh, he hit him with the Fate's Edict.
Yeah.
Canceled out all the magic damage. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but nonetheless, they still had enough nuking power to bring him down.
So, they didn't do it with the blink, but they're still gonna do it with a smoke. They get a kill, they get a pick off, transition it into a tower. So that's what you want to do with this type of lineup.
Can't quite get the finish on the tower yet, as friends do make their approach here. And
Oh, they have chrono, so yeah,
Scary fight.
DC are very wary of it. They're not trying to commit way too hard. And here comes AM blinking in on No Fear. He has the mana void, but not enough damage at this
Yeah.
point.
We'll just force him out of the lane instead. And this is where it's a bit awkward for the Earth Spirit now, because you gotta have to find a way to get up to level 6. Now you gotta get your Magnetize and put it to work. Thank God there's tomes in the game.
Right now, Resolution is just trying. He knows that with the Vanguard he can play a bit more aggressive and try to force rotations, make space around the map for your teammates. Generally, you don't do that as AM because you take up space, you take up as much as you want, as much as your team gives you. But with the Vanguard built early, you are able to actually be much more comfortable alone, and you don't need your team to create so much for you.
So as you can see, a Void Stone in the pocket of the Void. Battle Fury.
Lincolns. You know I'm actually a fan
Lincolns?
of the Lincolns build. You know, Wings, they always get Lincolns on their Void, on Shadow. Oh, you...
I didn't know that. I didn't. Every Wings game I saw, they didn't play it. Why the Lincolns then? I mean, obviously, it's good against the Batrider there, but I mean, you're going against Oracle who could pop it easily. I mean, it really is the Lincoln's end-all be-all for one of your late-game cores in this game.
Oh, here we go again.
Who's in trouble? False Promise helps keep him alive.
Quick
Claudius
Chrono.
is there. Chrono
Very
will catch
quick
both him and Sasuke so they can try to clean out both. Moon ate a lot of damage, so I don't think that False Promise is going to keep him alive. It certainly does not. He gets dropped. But look at this. DC on the comeback here. Mana Void not going to be enough. Aloha Dance Surge. He's running away. And he eats his way through a tree. It looks like he'll head north to make it away to safety. While the rest of friends also look to evacuate. Always want to fly. Not going to be so fortunate. The Vengeful Spirit will go down. And this turns into a 1-for-1, making the game even again. 4-4.
So it was slightly better trade for Friends since they traded a support for a core, even though it looked like Friends would have maybe gotten a lot more out of it with that chrono.
No level 6 they get for the supports yet, still, so they can't make a huge impact.
So
Maybe you had to magnetize there.
Tinker should have bots soon as well, right? Does he have bots already? Yeah, he already has his bot, so the game is gonna start to go better for fans right now since Tinker's gonna be able to annoy, and you know, you basically want to try your best to go to the AM's lane, you know, drop your spells on him, try to keep him low so he's always worried about Void coming in to kill him. So that's basically what you want to do during this stage when AM is trying to farm a lot.
So friends, we're looking at it potentially to go better for them now because these are coming online. But with their lineup, should they have been already being the better team? I mean, you have an Earth Spirit who's supposed to be making early lane impact and all this, and an AM lineup on DC side. I mean,
I actually think that DC have a pretty good lineup for early game as well with the Elder Titan and Oracle because they secure the off lane, it forces the Darkseer to go jungle, and what Elder Titan did in the early game was pretty significant for his team, getting the first blood, stealing his experience when he was jungling. So I wouldn't say you expect Friends to be ahead from the early game, since their heroes are still, even though they sort of didn't get too much advantage of the early game, but they scale very well into the late game.
Uh-oh.
Misery.
Awkward cross between two teams here. Misery will be spotted. There's a stun, a laser, and that burst is going to lead to G getting
They
a
were
swift
trying
pick.
to smoke in and place wards, but they found a Misery appearing, so they're gonna pick up that kill. And so far, they're still not getting objectives done, because to be fair, their lineup doesn't really take towers quickly.
No, not at all. Really, when you look at them, it's actually a pretty poor
They
tower
farm,
pushing lineup
yeah, they
overall.
farm, they kill. They are very mobile with the Tinker bots and obviously the Surge and the rolling boulder of the Earth Spirit, but they don't take towers well. So, but the important thing is still whether if they can get pickoffs on the AM. If they can kill Resolution before he gets to his Battle Fury, before he gets to his Manta, so how much pressure can they exert towards the AM? That's going to be the key question right now for Friends.
And do they have like enough lockdown, for example, to go against it here? I mean, do you change up the Tinker build a bit? I know we've been seeing recent Tinkers, they get their Aether lenses and they get their Ags, but do you consider getting a sooner Sheep Stick, let's say, in this
He might actually get caught here.
Whatever he decides to get, it might be prolonged as he drops down the mark. Spear's gonna spot him out. Boo blinks in, he's got the rope, ties him up, pulls him back right into the Breath of Fire, and it's gonna finish him off. They'll get the follow-up kill potentially for Always Wanna Fly, and DC will make it 2, but Magnetize is now out. They quickly split, and jump in from the Aloha Dance. We'll catch just Misery with the Chrono here.
He was greedy.
And they can't even get him down. That's gonna be a false promise for Misery. He puts out the stomp, and he runs the back away, but no, they got the burst potential. Yogu vacuums him back in, he'll go down. Saska will make his own retreat, but it's still a 3-for-1 trade for DC at the moment. And there's going to be the pop, and that makes it 4. Oh, it's not going to get any easier here. Digital Chaos making their advancement. Will they make it 5 all day? Yes, they will. They will grab a hold of...
He was greedy with that Chrono Dakota.
He tried to...
He should have gotten at least 2 heroes, but he tried to get 3. And
he wanted to get like high ground, low ground, and the high ground from the other side. It was like, the middle of the river.
He tried for Universe Chrono.
Yeah.
He tried. Let's give him some credit for that. But it failed and cost his team a team fight.
But it failed. And he did an Aloha Dance Chrono, unfortunately, right now, and it's not going to cut it. Not with where they are right now, so. Whoop. Bottom lane, Misery wants the man mode with his splitter. G takes it.
And if you can see a support trying to kill a core like that.
And then getting away and living and being happy about it.
It's not looking good for that team.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, we do see a mech coming online though for the Darkseer, so Friends with that, maybe they could come together, make some team fight action happen here, but...
It's difficult for them to like five-man push down lanes right now, because I still think it's the most important thing for them is to catch the AM and to slow him down.
But when are your best moments? Because don't you want to work around the lasso, let's
Void,
say?
Chrono plus Tinker, like Void plus 1 support and Tinker BTing when you catch him. And Darkseer can push out one of the lanes. Because Darkseer and Tinker can always push out 2 lanes.
He's dead. I don't even think you need to magnetize for that.
They find him again. I mean, he's just trying to place down some wards. I think they know it. They're picking in. But can they find the ward?
I don't think so. Resolution, who is in the neighborhood, stops in for a visit to say hi to Always Want to Fly here.
Here comes the Batman.
And look at that, from the other side, Wee's there, the Bat's here, the whole DC crew happy to jump in from behind this tier 2 and be able to get the ball rolling, and they will quickly take down a couple of Friends members and go right back for the tier 2.
Well, this is starting to look like it's gonna be a DC taking control of the map right now, taking another tower down, and eventually gonna go for Roshan at some point.
Because that's what you do when you're winning Dota.
Yeah, of course.
They get that tier 2.
You know what Dakota does? He just continues to farm the jungle, and Misery again getting caught out.
Top lane takes that brute force from Friends, and now Friends gonna find their way out without losing too much for it. Aloha Dance and Yoku. Well, Aloha Dance has been the one locked down here, and they will burst him down. Saska with his Oracle being able to kind of do serious work with these Purifying Flames and securing some wonderful KS kills. But DC don't give anything free to Friends.
He's just making sure no one escapes. Don't call it KS. Come on. That's what you do when you play Oracle.
I love KSing with Oracle.
You must be that guy trying to get the Aghanims on Oracle.
It's really good in overthrow, I'll tell you. I don't think it serves any proper use in a real game. I don't know if I would ever see Oracle with Ags in a real game, but if you needed to KS that much faster, then it's awesome.
Okay, maybe if you have Alchemist on your team.
Sure.
Please buy me Aghanims.
I mean, if he's the last person who needs it, sure.
Come on, there's gotta be worse Aghanims than Oracle Aghanims.
I don't know, we'll have to think about it. It's a rare case that you would need to use Purifying Flames that much, but I'm sure Oracle enthusiasts out there will probably let me know in the most hateful way possible. Oh, top lane, Resolution spots out Tinker. I mean, this is going to be an annoying factor for DC that they have to have something ready for. I mean, G now with his Boots of Travel, he's becoming to, coming to form here. He could add the pressure in the side lanes, or do you think he should just be nervous about what lurks for
He's
DC?
nervous.
I mean, as long as the lasso's up and the bat's missing off the map.
And he
that's
doesn't
always
have
something to
Blink at
consider.
18 minutes, so Tinker relies on the Blink to be confident when you're pushing the side lanes, because you need
He's
to...
getting there.
I mean, he's getting there, but usually...
He's already there. I can finish that statement for you. Usually he'd have it now.
If you have a very good game, you have it around 15 minutes. Average game 18 minutes, 19 minutes, but bad game means anything after 20 minutes.
Speaking of blinks though, their Darkseer grabs his first.
When your Darkseer is more farm than your Tinker. Bad news.
And it wasn't even a great start for the Darkseer. He had to go right to the jungle, which normally in any case would be a great start for a Darkseer if he has only the jungle to work with, but he was getting harassed by Misery, and it was just a tough time. Bottom lane though, Aloha Dance, he might get a freebie here for Moo. There's the chrono time dilation, and he gets enough right clicks in that he'll be able to get the job done. Now can he get away with his faceless life? I don't think so.
Yes, he can.
Oh, he can. He gets some help coming in. Always want to fly. Swaps him back into safety, and now the Magnetize comes out with no fear. Could be the best fight for Friends if they can follow through. They're looking for Weehaw here. Magnetize continues to just muscle its way through, but he's got enough tankiness that he can shrug this one off.
Here comes AM, Mana Void.
And he
find a good
hit.
target?
Wall's going to be dropped right now. Weehaw keeps him back, and Saska's looking to clean up the rest here.
Oh!
DC waited long enough. There's going to be the big bump, and it's a double kill right away. All right, well, any hope for Friends to lead off a strong fight here has been quickly debunked, because AM has shown up and he came to play.
That's why you pick AM against Darkseer. Good Mana Void target.
Yeah. Yeah, he just goes in, it's like, and it's such a big indicator. Like, you see a wall in the middle of the playing field, it's like, that guy's probably missing a lot of mana. Let's bomb him. Yeah, it's not an easy road here.
I'll do that to Storm all the time. It's easier to
Mana
target
void him.
Storm, yeah, when you
Yeah.
see him rolling in. I mean, that fight was just, I mean, it looked pretty good before the AM arrived for Friends, but then you were pretty convinced that Void was dead earlier.
It just, yeah, it took a lot more than I was expecting. I mean, to the benefit of Friends on that one, for DC to get a turnaround there.
So,
But even with that
do you
brief
still
comeback,
like the Lincoln's build on Void?
I don't know. He didn't have it that last fight, right? Or did he?
He did.
I mean, I didn't see that was the reason it kept him alive. I mean, I guess, but there's the jump in. They pull him back. Dilation from Moo here. Fate's Edict, but not enough burst. They're even going to give him a false promise, so he's totally good. They try to change course. They go for Wii. Wii could be bursted down here. Everyone feels like it takes so much to finally bring them down. And DC will just walk away with who's alive if possible. Saska, though, I don't think so. He'll try to keep it alive. Fate's Edict and Self-Purifying Flames. He's running. Can somebody get a stun on this guy or something? Okay, there we go. Chrono waits for Moo to step in. We'll catch both of them. They'll get the one kill on Saska fast. There's another wall going to be committed. They're rolling for Moo. They'll get that kill too. Suddenly, things are being strung together for Friends here. And a nice little freebie fight.
Yeah, because
Big network swing.
right now DC is just like having AM alone, split pushing the lane, so they are fighting with 4 heroes. So you expect Friends to, be able to take advantage of that to win fights. And they got 3 kills, which is really, really good for them here. And they have to transition into getting towers, because if they don't get towers and they don't control the map, it's going to be very difficult for them to catch AM, because they don't have good vision down. If you don't take the tier 1s, it's very difficult for the supports to actually place down deep wards to catch AM.
Now the aim can feel a bit safer. He's got his Manta done, so he'll be able to Manta off
Time dilation.
many things, not just time dilation. Winner, you can't forget. You can even Manta off a frickin' Magnetize. You can get rid of the
Dakota,
you can get rid of
Dakota.
the silence. It's just wonderful.
Spirit is a bad hero because you can Manta off Magnetize.
I hated that change. It's probably for the benefit of the hero, but it's just like, oh, one little Abaddon shield, whatever, just takes off all of your ulti. Or Yules even. I am now going to be a little tougher to take down. So, Friends already have their work cut out for him much more than what this game has been laid out. And right after he finishes his Fanta, he's already got 1,500 gold saved up, Winner. And at the same moment, we're going to have Greaves completed here for your Darkseer. So, playing
He's
sustain.
actually so farm on the Darkseer in this type of game where his team is behind. How does this guy always get so much farm?
Ion Shells, I suppose. I mean, that's one huge positive for Friends is, I mean, you have the Darkseer, you have good high ground defense. It's not going to be easy for DC to just casually siege into the base. It looks like they might have to do most of the work outside the base and then move in.
Long game incoming, 40 minutes game.
We'll see here. DC have already made a move into the pit. And we'll have to see if Friends want to respond.
That
Obviously,
Chrono
we'll
though,
go.
so it's a good spot for them to take a team fight. Vacuum Chrono with Spirit Ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of combo potential. This is a similar lineup that we would see like EG run at Shanghai.
They are not moving, so they are not gonna check. They're not gonna be there in time anyway. So DC gets a free rush onto the anti-mage, and Friends still deciding that they want to smoke and fight with their Chrono. I mean, if they get a good Chrono off, they can still win a fight.
They know they're in the dark. They just took out those wards. They're hoping that DC will assume that Friends are going to be off doing their own thing, but with most of Friends missing off the map, DC are a little hesitant to cross the river.
Oop, we are running into Yoku.
So I'm taking some damage here, and they think about making a move in, but No Fear is right behind me while Loa Dance will isolate Weehaw with the Chrono just for him. While the Magnetize flies through the rest of the DC squad, they'll step back and try to, just wait out the timing, but they refresh it with a stone.
AM is coming in, he's looking for a mana void target.
Yeah, he moves in first to go for No Fear. No Fear will pop the wand. Resolution gets hit with the silence and pulled right back, but he's holding on to the second. And there he go. Okay, Earth Splitter's gonna fly, and DC need to kind of pull off here.
Yeah, they couldn't find an initiation with the Bat Rider. Mu was like waiting really patiently for an opening, but he wasn't really certain of finding a lasso target because Bench was also very far behind. He could easily cancel it with the lasso, so he decided not to go in the end. So DC are just gonna lose the Dragon Knight for nothing there. Kind of expected them to make a move so that they can at least get one kill there.
But for nothing. It did cost them the Chrono to take him down.
Okay, no one went down for the DK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think DC could do anything within that window of time with the cooldown anyway, so...
I mean, you could see why, like,
oh, they might lose him, though.
He has Lincolns, though.
Okay. Lincoln's is popped now. And then they lasso Winter, so there's your Lincolns. He goes down, so swift pick for DC, just as we're getting ready to praise Friends in their faces Void.
I mean, you could see why, like, they go for the Lincolns and the Void, because it makes it easier to initiate against a certain lineup. Like Bat Rider Lasso and then Dragon Knight Stun. Because you were asking earlier why players actually go for Lincolns on Void.
Well, I said the obvious reason is, because you got a Bat Rider on the other team and it could fluster him a bit, but I'm, for a Void in this kind of position, we'll have to see. CKP, turn around, move in, G, he's gonna get crushed. He goes down, and now it's Friends on the run.
He baited him so hard for that kill.
Lots of magnetized damage for No Fear. Actually, it looks like it'd be a lot of damage, but it's still being level 1, and I'm pretty sure someone on DC has a pipe. They'll be able to easily shrug that one off. Yep, I knew someone had a pipe. Nonetheless, they'll move in easily now for a tier 2. It looks like DC are on the verge of taking the series out 2-0 Winter. Friends not really having much to hold here. They still have Darkseer to be able to hold the high ground, but they have 2 on the sidelines waiting. They do have buybacks, but you don't want to be spending that kind of money now. Certainly not on your Tinker, so let's see what Friends can do to kind of hold without them.
They have Chrono.
Yep. Okay, Lincoln's popped. Oh, no. Behind. Look out behind you, there's a Chrono. DC don't want to do anything about it, though. They head in front of the wall instead, and And now without that to worry about, they'll easily be able to take him down. They get the follow-up takedown, and with Resolution poking down and taking down Always Wanna Fly.
To his defense, I think he was expecting the Darkseid to vacuum them there, but they vacuumed another
I saw the vacuum, but yeah, it was not where the chrono was. So there definitely was a bit of a misfire. We could chalk it up to the fact that, again, you know, these teams don't, the friends in particular probably, you know, not screwing
They're just friends, you know.
They're just friends playing Dota, guys. Would you have expected your pub Darkseid to land that vacuum? Nonetheless, it doesn't look like friends are going to be a hold this one. It is just one set of racks.
Just like when I pub with Dakota, I don't expect him to buy wards.
Why? I buy wards all the time. You're just flat out lying now. You are lying.
No, you don't.
That's all I'm good for is the wards. I know that. Racks are down. DC now head to the north. What is the response from Friends? Well, they're going to have no Tinker for 45 seconds for so pretty much all this Rack's defense. Pretty sure they committed most of their stones and everything there. It's just they're going to have to take this one on the chin and head to the lower bracket, while DC will take their advancement into the second round.
Here comes the boy with Lincolns.
He's here. He's almost dead. He managed to swap away and get a time walk off. Always Wanna Fly will hand over his own life for it. He doesn't get back over here though. Fight Always Wanna or Aloha Dance. I don't like that they're on the same team now, Winner. It's very confusing.
How about Ice, Ice, and Ice as Ice, and Ice on the same team?
That would be wonderful.
For you.
That would be cool. See what I did?
That would be cool, yeah, sure. Of course it would be cool. All the Ices on one team.
Yes, Winner. Thank you. Aloha Dance, though, man, who's not going to go down without a fight. He's like, I'll get this one support, though. And Sasuke says, I'm not going to make it easy. False promise. And I don't think he'll be able to heal himself up through it.
He has the Greaves aura.
He couldn't. I don't think he had Fate's Edict, so he couldn't. Oh, he did use it on Aloha Dance.
The aura, the Greaves aura.
Yeah, he stopped him. He disarmed him from attacking, and then just healed himself with Purifying
There
Flames.
goes your mana.
Oh, he gets enough for a time walk though, but that's as far as he'll go. Oh, a nice little bash here for you. Oh, I was gonna say they were trying to be a bit forgiving there, but Weehaw commits in, trying to get the finish hit. Walks himself into a bit of trouble. Now gets healed up. Can't attack yet because the Faith Edict is still there. Finally will be able to get it through and they'll get the takedown. Godlike right now for Resolution Winner. He's having a wonderful AM game. 9-0-9.
The dream AM game. I mean, itemization was really good this game. I mean, they didn't actually catch him at all, to be honest, with the Void. So I'm not sure if it actually mattered that much, having the early Vanguard, since he didn't even get caught. But just overall, his team just making a lot of space for him. The DK, the Oracle, Elder Titan, and the Bat together were just like picking heroes off, getting objectives done, and AM is just like coming in at the last moment. I get this big mana void cleanup. That's the dream AM game right there.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of credit to, of course, the space created by like Misery at the start of the game, just kind of getting Friends a little flustered.
He was the boss in the early game.
Yeah, he just was drawing all the attention onto himself, which had Friends kind of adjust their priorities to deal with all these small fires.
This is what you were talking about, why Earth Spirit has fallen out of favor, because someone else can actually fulfill the role and you do more.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do now. He can't do anything, unfortunately. You just have to pray, get an Ags or something. You know, that's what it's like. I wonder if people just take him back to the offlane.
If he had an Alchemist on his team, I would say that would be possible.
I doubt teams are going to like experiment with putting him back in like the offlane or mid lane or something, so we'll just have to see what the future holds for Earth Spirit. But for now,
Weehaw the only player who actually does it mid-lane?
He can play mid lane. Jarex plays in mid lane too, or used to, and they both used to play him off lane. But yeah, I don't know. As a support, as you mentioned, it feels like there's other supports right now who could do the job he does better, or at least kind of just suits
I would say probably Ricky and Elder Titan can do more, but Earth Spirit, I believe there's still space for Earth Spirit. There's still room for him to be utilized in maybe certain situations, not all the time anymore, but I still see the hero being useful in certain games.
Yeah, there'll be a team like...
I don't think he's dumpstered, you know,
I'm only exaggerating when I say he's worthless now, but to see him go from what many consider like demigod status, you know, ban him right away, don't even put him in captain's mode, to, you know, now he just casually shows up from time to time.
Oh, Tinker.
Yeah, he gets caught from behind, snagged up, pulled back. Older Smash is going to miss. He goes right through the flames and into Deadville, where he'll be out of this fight for 60 seconds without a buyback. So this is DC's chance to really put a closeout on this game. Weehaw trying to be the gatekeeper here in the bottom lane as he just clusters friends from behind the racks. Him and Aloha Dance go into a bit of a one-on-one. Aloha Dance going to commit the chrono, catches 3, 4, 5 actually technically. Yeah, but what'll follow-up be there? It looks like they might be able to bring down Misery right under the wall. Wee eating a lot of damage, has to get the false promise to stay alive. He will be able to blink because of said false promise and at least use all the double regen he's going to get from his Dragon's Blood. Wouldn't you know it, he's back at full life. How wonderful is that?
He has a freaking hike.
Oh, they move in. They'll burst down Aloha Dance. He's out. 60 seconds. No buyback for him. We're still waiting for G to make his return for about 15 seconds. But that's going to be the racks, and once you believe it, that's going to be the game 2. DC take game number 2. They take the series 2-0. Friends go to the lower bracket, and DC move on.
I mean, pretty straightforward stuff. DC is just overall the much better team in the series, and you know, Friends, they are very apparent that there's not much practice in the team. They're just playing for fun. There's not much motivation for them to win, you know. So DC just outclassed them basically.
Fair enough, winner. Sounds good. And with that, DC will get prepared for their next